Good afternoon, Quasar Markets. We're breaking in live. The big man himself, Big Beat, wanted to talk to the viewers. What's going on, Big Beat?
Yeah, look, it's very simple. Whenever CNBC sees a sell-off like this, it's markets in turmoil. It's so crazy. The world's falling apart. Chicken Little's running around. Look, the truth of the matter is, it's not that bad. This is, I want to be very clear. This is a QQQ. This is the NASDAQ right now, and I want to show everybody what's going on. Look, we talked about this morning. So if you're paying attention to us this morning, you knew exactly what was going on. All right. What was going on was the sheer amount of options that were being pulled off the markets. And we said this all morning long. Look at 2:00. This is what you should expect is 2:00 is that this is when Robinhood starts pulling theirs off in the retail. They'll start seeing other ones coming off. This is what you're seeing. This is not markets in turmoil. It's just people taking some profit and playing the zero DTEs. And listen, I was asked earlier, how do I play this? How do I play this? Well, I just asked Howard to pull up a 6-month chart. Okay. And he's doing exactly what I was looking at was these lows. And you see it happening all the time over the last 6 months, every quarter. You see this every month. It's the same crap, right? That they're scared or they put these in this case liquidity in jeopardy, and they get nervous and they pull off and they don't know what to do and they don't have that forward thinking. Well, guess what you're seeing in this chart alone, the 6-month chart? You're seeing one thing and one thing only. You're seeing lower highs on the NASDAQ, right? This means that people are still buying. They're just taking off all the leverage off of the market. That's what's happening right now. Leverage is being pulled off the market. Okay. So when they pull off leverage off the market, do you see what happens the next week? Right back up. Now, what did I do? So I think a lot of this is short selling too. I think they're piling on. Great. Good luck to that. You might have made a little bit of money today, but you're not making generational wealth here today. You're making your money so you can go buy your beer on the weekend. That's about what's happening here, right? So let's talk about that. I bought the QQQ for the close here. I've also bought it. I may roll them over for Monday or Tuesday because we're going to go right back up. Now, look, we've been talking about it. I don't like that Trump's talking about tariffs. I don't like some of this nonsense that's going on in Washington. This we're going to drain the swamp. Well, what are you going to drain the swamp with? Put more people in the swamp. It's all the same, right? It's actually a brain drain coming on right now. I'm not nervous in this. This is what I like. I like this right now. I think you're going to talk about Tesla, Howard. You're totally right here.
Yeah, I had Tesla up. You guys know I bought it at 330 a couple of weeks ago, sold it at 360. I'm looking to recycle that same trade here. It got down as low as 334. Didn't trigger my trade yet, so I'm hoping for a little bit more weakness here before the end. But it's a lovely looking W chart, isn't it?
Hey,
charts don't lie. I'll take advantage of it. We play the market in front of us. I'll also point out Bitcoin. I posted on Twitter also. Watch for this 94 support here. I'm not going to trigger a trade unless I get closer to 94. But at 94, I'm looking to go back long again. This is a 2-hour chart that I have up here. And you can see you can go all the way back here, to the beginning of the year. This has been the rinse and repeat. So, this is why we say keep money on the sidelines, right? Have powder to use. We talk about it every time, you do. And number two, this is when other people are scared. This is a buying opportunity. Throw a rod on the other side of the ship, right, Steve?
I mean, I can't even believe it. This is truth. Some people the Wall Street Journal posted this, I think, earlier. If you look at the front page of the Wall Street Journal, the question is, why is Warren Buffett hoarding so much cash?
Yeah, I saw that earlier.
Hello. This is exactly why. He's looking for these awesome opportunities to buy. He's not looking for he's looking for a whale. We know that, right? But he's looking for an opportunity. And you know what? He has the biggest cash.
That is literally the headline middle news. I'm not sharing my screen, so that doesn't help.
There you go.
It's the middle headline one right here. Why does he have
there.
money? And Mark Petrino talked about it today when we had him on. You were talking about with Michael Litt, all of the situations that why you would, you need to be prepared for this to hit these type of situations.
Yeah, I mean, well, no, I will say this much. There are some underlying theories there's other things going on than just cash in the sideline. There's other things going on than just Trump talk, which is nutty. But there's also this liquidity that's leaving the markets, right? That's not there, that was there. What do I mean by that? Well, I think if you talk about it from the perspective of Bitcoin or crypto or Ethereum or whatever, there is so much 100xing and 50xing and 300xing the money, and they're getting eaten up like just doughboys on a field, right?
Well, we also would be remiss not to mention, I put it out on Twitter also, this morning everything was jumping because Coinbase settled, not even settled its suit. The SEC dismissed its suit. And then at 1:00, the largest hack ever, Bybit's cold wallet of Ethereum, hacked for over $1.5 billion. So in the crypto world, just another day, but that's what has, for those who are wondering why.
$1.5 billion. I mean, that's not, well, I'm not going to say it's not nothing, because there are people who got hurt, right?
Oh yeah.
I tell you every day, I say it every day. There's people ask me all the time, why are you in Coinbase, Steve? Because I feel safer with my money there. It's protected by insurance. There's a million reasons why. Yes, I pay more to get my money in and get my money out. I know that. That's why Coinbase's stock goes where it's at, right? Because people are actually doing that. Look, it's very simple. I get it that there's $1.5 billion. It sucks for some people who are going to lose their money. Look, even the biggest hack in history and the biggest loss as well as FTX.
No, this is bigger. This is bigger.
This is bigger, right? But in the future, it's going to get even bigger
because of the biggest hack. Because FTX wasn't a hack.
Howard, it's going to get bigger in the future. It's going to get even bigger in the future.
Yeah. I mean, this is a tough one. Bybit is the largest derivative exchange in the world.
And again, I would tell people, why are you even on that exchange? Why are you even on derivatives?
You can't be if you're in the U.S. So as a U.S. citizen, you should not have been. You would not have access to that.
Correct.
So that's correct. Knock on wood. One thing that they've done right, our regulators, is keep us out of those sites.
And that's why we're here, right? I mean, that's exactly why we're here. Okay, so the question that I posted, markets in turmoil. Why did I write that? Well, that's very simple, because that's what CNBC puts when the market falls like this, and everybody gets scared, and it's a big scream out there, hey, markets in turmoil, markets in turmoil. Well, the markets really aren't in turmoil. They're just cleaning up all that liquidity that was out there. We talked about that this morning. I really wasn't pounding the table this morning about it. I'm just nervous. I'm just worried about the people that are nervous out there. Let's talk about that, right? Look, it's one of my rules of trading. If a position is too big and you're too nervous about this position, if you're nervous about your position, then your position is too big and you need to clean that up. If you have too many shares and you go, wow, I didn't expect to get this deep into something, I can't tell you, get the hell out of it, right? I mean, if you're sitting there going, hey, I'm going deeper and deeper and deeper, you need to know your numbers, right? We talked about that this morning. Like I said, I spoke to Ray Dalio, right? Personally, what percentage of your portfolio should be in alternative investments? Later in that, which you didn't see the video of, was because he was talking about Bitcoin and told me it's gold, specifically gave me numbers. But I will tell you, you shouldn't have the options positions you have should not be 100% of your portfolio. It should be 1% of your portfolio. If you're
especially options, I mean, an option trade for me, 2 to 3%. Well, any trades 2 to 3% is your maximum cap there. I will point out too, VIX, when it was earlier this week down below 15, I said to get it. Look what it's done today, up 20%, 1880. We keep telling you here at Quasar that some of the things you can do, some of the strategies you should have in place to, guard against this volatility. Number one, have insurance in place, which is the VIX, before you need it.
And you mentioned this morning at 15, like VIX, it's no brainer. Insurance on your portfolio. So a lot of people have asked me what is it that I did today? Very simple. The QQQs. I bought some calls. I'm not scared. I may roll them over to some on Monday or Tuesday. I don't like zero DTEs. Everybody knows that. I'm totally against it. I think it's what's wrong with the markets now. I mean, how much money? $3 trillion in options are coming off today. It's outrageous that we have that kind of that machine is in place to even be able to do that, but we do. And it's going to get worse, right? But now I really like this. I think a lot of short sellers have just piled on. I think a lot of short 0 DTEs have piled on buying naked puts. Stupid, but they did. And so I think that's why I think you're going to see now.
And you can see on the minute chart here, it's bottoming out, trying to work its way back up. Also,
yeah. So I'm not too worried about. We talked about this. 2 o'clock was where those retailers are going to get crushed. Guess what happened at 2 o'clock? You can almost pull up a chart and show the QQQ at 2 o'clock, right?
Yeah.
So you know what happened, and look, a lot of them. I'm sorry, but they deserved it. I don't like this. I want the 0 DTEs to stop. They're not going to stop, right? But that's not for me to decide. That's for the CBOE. SIBO, and I respect their decision on this. They make a lot of money, folks.
Yeah, right at 215 it took off.
Don't think for a second that new building was free, right? Okay, so they're building it on the backs of those people playing those options, right? So let's talk about that for a second. I'm thinking of very simple. I mean, look, I can roll those over very quickly. I can roll those Q calls to Monday or Tuesday, no problem whatsoever. All right, and I can add to them. I'll probably crush it on Monday or Tuesday. You might see look, when you look at it from the perspective of what's happening today, I'm not seeing anything that's bothering me that much. Yes, I still said it earlier. I think the Trump needs to lay off the tariffs. But if some good news comes out of Ukraine, some good news comes out of the Gaza Strip, some good news, these things are going to explode right back up and liquidity will go right back in. Because why? Because Warren Buffett has the biggest cash pile in history. Why? Because
Bill Ackerman's putting together another cash pile similar size.
There's cash piles everywhere.
The smart money is on the sidelines waiting for these dips,
That's right.
And like I said with Bitcoin, I said it when it broke down towards 94, didn't get all the way down there. But again, you see them, they're all leveling out now. QQQ, Bitcoin, Tesla. Let's see what that's doing now.
And I'm not
336. I still like it in this zone. I like it better at 330, like I said.
Here we go. CNBC now says market sell-off, renewed economic worries spark broad-based market drop. We talked about that this morning. We knew that this morning. I said this. Look, consumer confidence is down. Look, hiring in the construction spending is down. Manufacturing is actually up. So things are turning around. Why sell into the turnaround, right? That's just silly. People are late. Now, I think a lot of people don't understand the stock market in general. Like they understand, I know how to buy and sell, but I don't really understand the mechanics of the market. I'm buying from somebody, I'm selling from somebody, Steve. That's not the market, right? Let me tell you what the market does. The market is it's just a machine. It doesn't care about you. It doesn't think about your feelings. It doesn't care 2 seconds about how your mom's going to write off another check because you don't have any money to pay off your QQQ calls. It doesn't care. All it is a mechanical machine that says, all right, one side has this amount of money, another side wants to buy, one side wants to sell. I'm the machine that makes this happen. I'm the one that makes it all happen.
Facilitate it.
All right. So a lot of people are looking at charts. Some people are looking at news. Some people are looking at charts and news, like me. I don't ever look at just charts or just at news. If you just do one or the other, good luck trading. I've been doing this 33 years for a reason. I'm able to handle that. I will tell you the same thing that I've been telling everybody for these 33 years, right? This is one I might just even record. A good captain is not made in calm seas, right?
That's right.
Let me repeat that again. A good captain is not made in calm seas. A good captain, a good trader is made in times like these. Okay. So when times like these, and these aren't even bad. Folks, I remember when the market was down Dow would be down 500 points before the market would open, and I'd be sitting in my chair almost in a panic, right? Today, we don't even get in a panic over 700 points, right? Yeah. Because the markets have moved that much. They have pushed up that much. I had to look again. Bitcoin's up 65%. Over the last 52 weeks, 65%. All right. Why am I saying that? Because that's where the market always goes up. But when you have times like this and your people are getting nervous and Chicken Little's running around and you got market sell-off and markets in turmoil, that scares people. They want to pull their money out. That's only for young people or people or they're not quite there. If you're an investor, you don't need to be pulling your money out. You need to be licking your chops going, I can't wait to buy more. That's what you should be saying. Not saying, I don't know what to do here, right? Hey, man. And look, this, just be real honest here. Okay. Real honest. I am still long in this market. I'm not scared. I'm not even coming on here to say, go buy. I don't care what you do. You do what you got to do. Do what you got to do to protect your own self. Right. But I'm here to tell you that this is not scary. I'm not scared in this.
Yeah. Another one that I'm looking at here is Coinbase. Coinbase was up tremendously this morning. What changed this afternoon? A hack of a non-US based derivative exchange. That shouldn't affect Bitcoin. That's not going to affect Coinbase.
In fact, Coinbase probably made a bunch of money. They probably got a lot.
If anything, there's going to be more trading, right? They win in that. They don't have a net position in Ethereum.
When Binance got busted and it had Binance US, guess what? All that money went to Coinbase. When FTX went under, guess where it went to? Coinbase. Yeah. Right. Why?
Yeah,
because
it looks like, I'd be looking here at this 230 level. Hey, Ron. Yeah, definitely looking for opportunities, buddy.
That's right, Ron. Exactly. You're not looking to
Tesla. I'll tell you right now, like I said, I'm looking at Tesla on this approach to 330. I'll be patient and look for this 330 because it's got a W formation founding. Like I said, Coinbase, I love here right now. It was up this morning on true fundamental news. Now, just because the market's tanking and crypto's tanking because of a hack, it's tanking. I love that as a buying opportunity. I love NVIDIA, as you know, here as a buying opportunity, down 3.48%. What, happened that made you, why is it worth, $100 million less than it was this morning as a company? Is that how much that would be off their market cap? Let's see. Right now they're at 3.31 trillion. They were, at like 3.5. So I don't know what made that move. Those are some of the ones I would look at, especially the ones, like I said, like those, the biggest names.
Yeah, I mean, when I always say it, I want to everybody understand this. I call it my grocery list, right? You better have a list of stocks that you're interested in buying, have an area where you want to buy them in, and not only just have the grocery list, but you should have orders in there, right? There should be buy orders.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like these, you should be okay. You may not get the exact price that you wanted, okay, but you need to have those buy orders in. I would like to own XYZ stock at this price. Well, guess what? It may happen when you're out in the park, and it may just happen, right?
Another one that I know people were all upset when they didn't get in on the last run. Look at Vistra here. Done almost a full retracement here. If it gets down into the zone, I'd still, again, be looking for more downside. But these start to get interesting in some of these zones. This 140 zone on Vistra would be interesting. If you look at some of the bigger losers.
There, look at the 28th. You see that dead cat bounce? That's a dead cat bounce, by the way.
Yeah.
That big one, that big drop and a pop back up. That's a dead cat bounce, by the way. People get that wrong all the time. Tell me that's a dead cat bounce. That's not a dead cat bounce. That's a dead cat bounce, by the way. Look, I'm looking over here at the dollar, the Dixie, 106.60. The dollar hasn't even moved from 106.65 to 106.55 in the last hour. It hasn't done anything, right?
Sideways.
The world hasn't changed, folks. It's just that all this money is coming off the sidelines, going back to the sidelines. Very, very much so, Ron. Selling cash with secured puts and let it fill where you want it to own it. That's exactly right. I mean, if you have
get paid to wait.
That's right. If you don't know what Ron is talking about there, he is saying, hey, look, I own the stock and I'm going to sell you some puts. Yeah, I'll go up against my own damn stock. So there you go. He's right. I agree with it. Get paid to wait. I like that. It's a very smart move.
Yeah. With Tesla, what you would do is you would be looking at a 330 cash secured put. If it hits the 330, you get in your entry where you were trying to get in anyways, where you would have gotten in. And if it does expire worthless, then you just get the premium. I love it. It's definitely a great technique and definitely can work on times like this where you put together your wish list. I haven't looked what's financials doing. I've been looking to see that they're down pretty big too. JP Morgan gets interesting here again. If JP Morgan hits this 261, that's been strong support over the last 6 months on a drop.
Well, I think we've talked about the financials in a little bit. Bank of America being a strong one to talk about with Warren Buffett yanking a lot of his money out of there. I think not all of it, right? Look, I get it. As rates come down, it's harder on the banks, right? Because their margins start to slip a bit, and that's what it is. But I'm not concerned here. You want to talk about the Mag 7? I've said it this morning.
Look, Amazon. Look at Amazon right here. This is a nice little spot.
Yes. I mean, and you think about it from the perspective of PE ratio. You want to get the fundamentals? Look at Google. Google right now I think is under 20 as the PE ratio now. I'm not mistaken. Think about that.
Take a quick look here. It's at 23.26. Yeah.
There you go. And if I were to pull up the S&P 500 PE ratios, Schiller PE ratio multiple, I think we're probably sitting today at 30.63. You're getting a company, a quality company. Now, there is a narrative here to say, okay, is ChatGPT taking away the search engine from Google? I would say yes, because I don't use Google search anymore. I use ChatGPT and a few other things. But Google's main money here is their cloud, and they do all kinds of things like phones and everything else that we don't,
Waymo.
And it's getting bigger and bigger, right, as a company. Right. And yet you're getting a discount because right now the current S&P 500 PE ratio, if I look at the max ratio is 123, the minimum is 5.31 back in December of 1917. Okay, so we're not going to ever see that again, right? If we do that, then none of us are going to have a job. The median is 15.05. Okay, so if the mean reversion ratio is 16.13, right now you're at 23. You're only about 9 points off of that, right?
Yeah.
And if the max was done in 09, right? The max during the .com bubble, and let's say we split the difference there, you could easily get back to a PE ratio of 35, 36. That would literally put this stock probably back to, I don't know, somewhere around 200, 202, 205. And without even batting an eye, it could easily just go there in a day. You've seen it happen several times over the last few months. It just popped up, right? This is just profit taking in a lot of ways. I'm not too nervous, and I'm seeing the Qs are already starting to push back up into the close with the last 30 minutes. So I like Google here.
Yeah, I point out that, Google. For instance, Google, if you're looking at cash secured puts, the 180 is right now at about 188. You'd get paid $188 a contract if it doesn't fill. And that's right around this bottom support here that you see at 179.68 would put you right in. You either get paid for not buying Google, or it fills at the price you wanted to fill.
That's right. You win both ways. So cash, and that's a good point, Ron. So I like the Google play here. I like it a lot. Good call, Howard, on explaining that to people out there. I like this a lot. I do. I think, and I might roll.
And that's looking, again, that's looking to try to pick up, $1,000 a contract in a matter of, 5-6 days.
Yeah, and what's been happening right now is I've been talking about around how long, and I'll be on Schwab on Tuesday. By the way, I just got the call up to be on Tuesday at 11 o'clock in the morning. I'll talk about this. I'm not scared of this sell-off. I'm really not. I think we go higher. But I've said this. We need to have the Fed get in gear, right? The Fed needs to say, okay, we're gonna cut rates here. Inflation is still a little bit prickly. I get all that. But when people are losing their job, which is one of the mandates of the Fed, they better get off their duff, because right now we need to be cutting rates. Why? Because we need to be growing the company. Apple's new idea was the Apple SE phone. Come on, right? I mean,
yeah, you had big hopes for that release. It didn't do much.
I had, and I'm always negative on Apple, and I probably should have just stuck to my guns when I said Apple's not doing it. But they might come out of it in September. I'll be looking at the new phone in September. As you remember, I was here. I have an Android phone, and I've had it for a long time, and I believe in Android because it's a business thing. Apple is crapple, but they have good products, okay? Because people like their products. They're not quality products, but they work. All right. They don't put the best stuff in their machines and their phones. They don't put the best, they use Qualcomm chipsets. I know they talk about now Apple's do M1 or M5 or whatever the hell that is. It's nonsense. But if you talk about it right now, they're the ones supposed to be leading us in tech, and they're not.
Right. Absolutely.
Right? You know who's leading us in tech right now? NVIDIA. And NVIDIA is taking a massive beat down. Why? Because they're not beating on, well, their earnings come out in a few days. We're going to find out. And I think they're going to beat. And I think we're going to lead this right back up there.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. I was just looking at
Trump is now
Hasbro
ordering. Oh, wow. So Trump is directing creation of a fast track process to facilitate greater investment from specified allies and partners. So he wants a fast track. Yeah.
Yeah. We need him to stop doing that. Okay, tick is still going. We just went positive finally on the tick. Advanced decline dropped all the way down 4,500 here today. Like I said, VIX got all the way up to above 1850, now back below at 1847. So it's cooling off. Actually got above 19 first.
Tell you what I'm looking to do right here, and I think I'm going to do it actually. I'm going to do it live on the air. I'm going to buy more Solana right here.
Nice.
And I might actually stake that too.
Okay, there you go. As I said, I'm going to hold off here. I'm looking at Tesla. If it hits that 330 mark, 336 here is a little rich for my blood. And I'm looking for Bitcoin on an approach to 94.
There you go. I just bought Solana there, and I've added it to my position. Okay. And I'm going to take that sucker and I'm going to stake that stuff too.
There you go. And that's how easy it is to do. Steve can do it on right there as he's on the air. Trying to see if there's anything else that interests me here. They say Coinbase too. I like Coinbase. They're at lows of the day. They're 229. So if I was looking at a cash secured put on Coinbase for next week.
Boy, I tell you, if you love Bitcoin at 94 last week, it's at 95 right now. I mean, here it is for you. I like this. I like this a lot, actually.
Tell you, Coinbase is another one. 227.50 put, which would put it right about where I like support. Pays you $5.53 in premium right now on a cash secured put. And that's about right where they've got a double top here. It's actually 225.28. So if you go 225, that's 488. 488 a contract there is what that's paying right now for next week's expiry.
And here's the thing. I'm not seeing the 10-year move. I'm not seeing silver and gold.
Well, you said it all. DXY isn't moving, and the 10 and 20 aren't moving, and either is really gold.
This is exactly what this is. This is actually...
It's an overreaction.
It's an overreaction. I agree. I think it's an overreaction. And I as a trader, not as an investor, now I'll make a difference. As a trader, am taking advantage of this silliness today.
Yeah. So again, Steve is looking at QQQ calls. I'm looking at cash secured puts on Coinbase, Tesla, and Bitcoin. Well, Bitcoin, I'm looking for just a drop to the 94,250 level. Steve, anything else you got here as we're walking into the close?
I'm just not scared. I will. You know what? We'll stay with everybody all the way to close. Let's go all the way to close, Howard.
You got it, buddy.
95,225. I like Bitcoin here. I like Solana here. I think this is great. Buy more. I think today's sell-off was absolutely a Friday. So it's nutty. This is the kind of times in the markets when you take advantage of stupidity. Take advantage of it. And that's what I've done all my life. I found out, I think a lot of people made fun of me when Facebook Meta was under 100. I was like, I don't think he's going anywhere. I like this company. Today's at over 400, right? I like that, right? I liked during COVID, Royal Caribbean, when Royal Caribbean was, oh my God, it's a petri dish, and the world's going to end, and there's not going to be any more cruise ships. Since COVID, they made 6 new ships, bigger than they've ever made, and more money than they've ever made, right? This is take advantage time. Take advantage of situations like this. If you see things like this happening, make sure you're going, you know what? I got an idea. I think I'm going to take advantage of this and do something with it, right? This is what I've done. I've done this my whole life. So, and I like this. This is where you invest. This is for investing, and take advantage of it and put it away. Say, okay, you know what? And I'm doing that, right? I mean, with my Solana right now, I took advantage of that, bought more, and I staked it. I put it away. Okay, I'm not saying I want to trade it when it gets to 200. Now I might, because it'd be a nice payday, but I'm staking it because I think we could go higher here, right? You don't think you get the chart up. You caught my mind right here. Michael Saylor, he's laughing all the way to the bank, going, "Thank you." I mean, you give me another
Yeah, I'm
opportunity.
not gonna lie. Another juicy, cash secured put you could look at would be MicroStrategy here. 290 levels for next week's expiry, $7.55 in credit you generate
I'm
if
a
it
little
goes up.
Now, if he sells his stock to cover some of the buying of the Bitcoin, that would bother me a little bit. But this
But
one's
he doesn't do that. It's all convertible bonds. He just
correct.
raised two
Yes.
more billion, so it's not. He
But
doesn't issue more
but
stock.
he could sell his shares to pay off the bonds if he wanted to, right? So
He could, yeah, but he hasn't. But none of those bonds come up for like 4 more years.
right. No, I agree. Yeah.
He's protected on Bitcoin going down to like 20,000 before he would
Oh
get
no,
rid.
he doesn't care. He's
Yeah.
sitting on a cash pile. He's made
That's
a billion the other day,
that's
right?
this is the kind of day I know that that, like I
I
said,
live for these days. As a trader, I live for these kind of days. Yeah.
Scott Bauer is selling, I'm sure, cash secured put, or he's actually doing credit spread, debit spreads across the board.
Well, you know what?
Usually.
Why don't we ask him if he can join us here?
He's skiing in Colorado. that's why he is on the slopes with your boy Oliver Resnick and from Schwab.
And hims and hers. What did we talk about today? It was nonsense.
Sell. I didn't even look.
What I said this morning. I almost beat the desk saying sell the hell out of it. Right?
Wow, look at that. Yeah, I did. I've been saying it since that move up. A couple of weeks ago, that it's just that they don't make it. It's hard to say because they do make something, but they don't create anything. They reproduce other people's recipes, and those days are quickly becoming numbered for them, without a doubt. Right.
And they just had the CEO of Hims and Hers actually defending his stock, and then people are selling more into it now. I think you probably should have said anything, but look, it's when you take advantage of situations like this is when I live for days like this as a trader, especially as an investor, to be able to buy more. I love buying more, and I tell people this all the time. You better have, and I call it powder, right, on the sidelines. You need to have a cash pile ready to go. I don't mean cash in your wallet or in your mattress in the bed. I'm talking about in money markets. I'm talking about in your brokerages. You need to have money all the time because things like this happen. And when they do, be ready to run, be ready to buy. And look, could the market continue to sell? I mean, look, I'm looking at it right now. I haven't been picked up yet. I don't like the fact that I may roll it over and buy more calls for Monday or Tuesday. I don't know. I'm looking at it now, and I still got about this looks like 18 minutes here, but I'm not. This is not scaring me here. It may be scaring other people, and look, I love scared money. If you don't know this, I like what I call being the ticker taker. What do I mean by that? I want to be at the door on both sides. When you're running for the exits, thank you very much for your shares. Thank you very much. I'll take your shares too. But when I'm also a ticker taker, when they're trying to play, I'm already in the studio. I'm already inside the theater. I'm going to just sit there and watch the movie with you. But then when you rush to the exit, I'll be the ticker taker. That's what I want for everybody else to be, the ticker taker. I don't want them to be the person that's FOMOing in and FOMOing out. I want people to have a more disciplined approach. We heard that from Steve Flanagan. We heard that from my friend Michael Litt today. It's a disciplined approach, day in and day out. I didn't get to be where I was. Howard didn't get to be where he was by not coming to do this every single day. I do this every single day. If you're not paying attention to the markets, you might as well be out of the market. I mean, it's okay to be out of the market. Nope. Instead of silence. I'm on the silence. If you don't know, I have my portfolio, and I'm long NVIDIA, and I'm even longer now Solana. Of course, I'm long Bitcoin, as everybody knows. I'm not here playing every single day right now. but I am keeping my eye on the market, and I think that's what people need to understand. They need to be able to do that, right? Have that discipline that says, okay, just like Howard told you where Tesla's going to go. He's not going to buy until he feels that's where it's going to hit, and he put an order in. Show them again, Howard, where you're putting your order in on Tesla.
Absolutely. Right at 330.
What has Howard done here? He has got his chart out. He has drawn on his chart his lines. He knows what he's thinking. Okay.
I know my whole trade. My trade will be to enter at 330, half exit at 360, looking for a move back to 390. Stop loss that invalidates it will be any move below 302.
And if you're not doing that on every single trade, understanding where your exit is, where your entry is, and how you're going to
2-to-1 ratio, 2-to-1 ratio to my first exit, 3-to-1 ratio to my second exit.
You heard this from Steve Flanagan, right? He said, I have a plan, and if my plan doesn't change, that's one of my rules, right? Yeah. If the market has not changed and you still have this thesis that this is what the position is going to do, this is what you, and if that position, that thesis has not changed, why are you getting out of it? Because somebody else is getting out of it?
Well,
what do they know that you don't know?
That's exactly it, you know. And like
there it is, market sell-off. Here it is. Bloomberg is screaming, and it's not a market sell-off, folks. It's really not. It's just another day in the markets. Look at this. It's just another day. In fact, it's not even a big day of selling, to be honest with you. There's been bigger days. Look back at the end of 2025. There were some huge days.
Oh,
so
yeah.
No, this is nothing. I'm not too worried about it. In fact, I'm about to roll over my Qs here anyway. Probably buy some more, and they're cheap right now. So whatever you roll over is pretty much going to equal, if not a little bit less. Yeah, I've lost about, looks like 80% on the call so far. I'm still not worried about it. Right? Why? Because I didn't go freaking big. I didn't go huge. I didn't throw the dice at the door saying I hope and I pray that my stocks and my options go up. But I took a gamble a little bit here. I don't like to gamble, as you know. And I'm not scared. I'm not scared at all. Why? Because I'm gonna go eat pizza or a steak here in a little bit and enjoy life, and everything's okay, right? I think that's what people need to understand. The selling here is overcooked. It's overdone. It was overdone the last sell-off. Remember the last big sell-off that happened back the end of I think it was back in the end of January, right? Yeah, there it is. If you look back, you can see that big sell-off. It happened. There it is. Around the line. There's this 3 lines. It happened 3 times, right? But look what happened.
Oh, yeah. You saw it right here. You had that fall on December 19th. You had a same-size fall here on January 7th. You had a bigger collapse on January 27th.
Bigger ones.
You had about a same-size collapse on January 25th. You know, it's just what the market we're handed right now. You know, we're still in a spot where we're at, close to all-time highs. So what happens on bad news on anything that sort of spooks investors, you get a capitulation because too many FOMO in every time it makes this run up to the same levels that it gets rejected at on all these right now.
You know, it's funny because we, as people in the crypto world, if you look at the Bitcoin chart, many of us were whining and crying about 18,000 Bitcoin, 19,000 Bitcoin, 20,000 Bitcoin, 25. When we go into 100,000, my God, between 100,000 or 112 or whatever, 108 was a high, right? All the way down to 95. I mean, I'm okay with that, right? Because we were buying back at 19 and 20, right? And then it took off again. And then when it got to 60,000, everybody's like, "Are we going to get out?" Because, and you saw that get out. A lot of people got out because they got scared because we just broke a new high on the Bitcoin at 60,000. Okay, guess where we're going to go? And what if I told you we're going to 250,000? Oh, really? Then what's 95,000 and 100,000? It's nothing. We're going to we're going to 1 million, folks. We're going to now when? I don't know. I don't care. Right? Why? Because I'm an investor. I'm buying more. Right? I'm not selling it here. I mean, I sold a little bit.
It is going to get interesting here, as Aaron Schurz just pointed out. Those 10-minute algos that trade the last 10 minutes of the day are going to kick in here. It should be interesting to see. Is the mean reversion algo kick in, or is the continuation? You'll see it pretty quickly.
Ron is
Ron is
asking.
asking, is this institutions or retail? I believe it's retail personally.
Retail, yeah. Now, I will say that there is some institutions that are hedging. Some of the funds, hedge funds themselves, are probably peeling off of them, and they're probably against the retail right now because they know what the retailers are doing. So, yeah, no, this is a little bit of both, but for the sell side, it's definitely retail. Now, I'll tell you one thing: institutions are probably buying right now. So, I would definitely not. Why would you want to sell when the Dow's down 1,000 points? Why would you sell? I mean, that's just nonsense to me, right? We're down 750 points right now. Is that right? I think we are. Yeah. And the VIX, VIX biggest spike. I mean, if you were listening to us this morning, you knew to buy the VIX. I mean, Howard said it 3 or 4 times, right? The VIX is a 15. You got to get out. The VIX is a 15. Got to buy insurance. And here we are. I'm not too scared. I think we're seeing a little bit of a bump here in the Qs. I'm not too scared about it. I mean, I'm probably going to roll it over. I've set it to roll over in the next 2 minutes. So we'll see. I haven't made the decision yet. They're not peeling them off yet. I can hold mine until 15 after. So I'm okay with that. It's all right. I'm not too worried about this. Oh, well, there you go. Jimmy Kramer now says sellers want to nail the low, right? Yeah. Okay, Jim.
We are bouncing back a little bit here into it. So the first couple of ticks here at 350 are to the north side.
And the tick's up 400 right
see
now.
if QQQ tries to pump back up here. The interest on it as it hits the standard deviation here that from the beginning of the day, 527.16 would be the spot you want to watch for here. But trying to move to the upside, 526.33, 35, 44. Here you go. First few moves from the algo moving to the top.
They're buying. Again, I mean, the institutions are buying.
I want to see is that 527.10 there would be the first key spot.
And if you listen to us with these cash secured puts and you listen to Ron Williams, you're making money right now already. You're already in the money already. And that's what I'm saying. Don't get scared because of this silly stuff, right? Learn how to trade. And I don't mean just buying and selling stock. Learn how to position yourself when opportunities like this happen. For me, it was buying the Q calls, right? For Ron, it's secured puts. For Howard, it's buying Nvidia at a certain place or buying Tesla at a certain place. He showed you his numbers, right? He said, look, if you want to do a cash secured put, right there it is on coin. He gave you the numbers on MSTR and coin. Right? He gave you those numbers, right? And we're not telling anybody what to buy or sell. We don't do that here. We never have done that. Market imbalance right now is 1.1 billion to the sell side, but on the Nasdaq Qs, it's 172.8 million to the buy side. So that's not a lot of buying, but that could possibly be a little bit of buying on the hedge side. But I think right now, I think Aaron's right about the algos kicking in. I'm not too scared. I don't care about either one. I'm gonna let it. I know I got about another 3 or 4 minutes here. I'm still thinking about what I'm going to do with them. Probably roll them over. I'm not unhappy about this. I kind of like this. I'm not scared about anything right now.
Bitcoin holding that 95 so far, 95,116.
And Michael Saylor's smiling all the way to the bank as he gets ready to buy more.
Yeah.
And he is not going to be the only one. I think institutions around the world will be like smiling all the way to the bank. And how much cash?
Bouncing up a little bit here. Doesn't look like I'm going to get any of my entries here today.
And you're not going to make a move. You're gonna continue.
No, and I do have them set to cancel at 4. I'm not going. I don't go after hours on those things.
See, that's what discipline does right there. He's just told you he's not going to continue. He's got an order to get rid of his limit orders. MOC, what they call market on close. Okay, so he's already told you what his order is, what he's doing. If you don't know those orders, we can probably do a video on all the. My favorite ones is FOK, fill or kill. I mean, I can go through all the different orders. There's tons of orders. We can explain those one day. But right now, I'm not scared. I'm not nervous. I'm probably going to roll them over. I got a few more minutes here to make that decision. Market sell-off, red everywhere. I mean, the screens are bleeding everywhere. People are nervous. Chicken Little's running around, their head cut off. I bet you right after the market closes right here, and I bet you see Bitcoin going right back up. I bet there'll be just buyers just stepping right back in. I'm not worried about the Bybits, Ethereum, $1.5 billion. I mean, look, that's an international problem, and that's people on exchanges on a derivative exchange. Okay, it's a no-no and a no-no and on a no-no. I'm not touching any of that nonsense. So yeah, we're fine. I'm okay with this. Howard, we got about 7 minutes here to close. Red everywhere on all of my screens, and I'm just not. I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to
I will
probably.
point out too my IBIT cash secured pit puts the 50s are going to expire worthless. So I'm going to get paid again for waiting for that entry on IBIT. I've been in those since Tuesday. We did it on the show.
Yeah, I mean, we're right below the 95,000 on Bitcoin. I mean, you know, IBIT. I'm not a fan of IBIT. Everybody knows that. If you want to own it, own it. Own Bitcoin. You know, I get it that you can trade through it. We talked about this morning, Melly, which is Mercado Libre, one of my favorite stocks. It's up 2.5% here on the worst day coming up. I like silly days like this because that's when I just go, thank you so much, right? And that's what I'm doing today. Anybody have any questions out there? You can bring them on to us. I know that there's quite a few people watching us right now, so come on out and ask us any questions you've got right now. U.S. proposes a rival UN General Assembly resolution on Ukraine, seen by Reuters, pitting it against proposal by Kiev and European allies. So the United States is making right now a wow, that's interesting. Look at that, very interesting. They are saying that the United States is coming out with their own. There it is. I'll add the banner in here so you guys can see what was being said. Coming into close here. Yeah, there. Come on, Q's. Let's go see what happens here.
Q's moving up here at the end, holding up pretty well so far.
And in the advanced decline line is minus 4,600. You're not even seeing, you know, a normal, really terrible day and an awful day. Let's see here. I could pull up some of the days that are even worse than that. 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 7,800, 8,000 stocks. If you look back in July of last year, this isn't even rivaling the last month of the worst day of the advanced decline. So, you know, this is we're good here. This is what I'm saying. I'm not too concerned about this. Now, if your stock,
I will mention too, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu came out and said Israel will make Hamas pay for failing to release the body of hostage Sherry Bibas as agreed. If you didn't see that, they released a body, and after doing DNA testing, that body is proven not to be the body that it's supposed to be. It looks like that could blow up the whole Middle East, quite honestly.
It's not a good situation there.
No.
I know that Trump is talking about making Gaza literally a landing strip. So, could get worse here. All right. Well, I got to make a decision here what I'm going to do, and I probably will just. Antonio Costa says he is long GOVX here for next week. It's a COVID name. Is COVID coming back around here?
I know a lot of people are sick. It's more bird flu that I think I've heard of than that.
I'm not liking this Q close here. I'm okay with it, and I'm going to roll them over to Tuesday, I think. Not Monday, Tuesday.
Finishing with closes mostly all around here. So what did end up as a weekday, MicroStrategy is challenging that 300 spot. So we'll see here. I could get filled on some of these. We'll see what happens here. Looking at Coinbase.
Moderna is surging here. mRNA, I think, a Moderna.
Tesla is moving up, so that one's not going to fill my 330. I don't have much of a shot there. It's now at 337. Got down as low as 334.
And here we go. Trump says he will soon impose reciprocal tariffs.
Bitcoin now back below 95, so this could get to my area here, 94,083 is where I got my target there. And then last but not least, looking at Coinbase, 235. I needed more at 229, so that's not going to get down. Excuse me, 225. That's not going to get down to my level either. So Bitcoin's the one that's the closest right now. Oh, and MicroStrategy is 300. MicroStrategy is close to it.
You're going to get it? You think? You're going to lift it here in a few minutes?
Yeah, I will get. We'll see. It's at 30.38. We'll see. It hasn't gotten down. Hasn't been filled yet. pretty close though. 330.16. Let's see. There it goes. I'm filled. I am filled at 300. Right at 300.
Very good, man. Very good. I like that. I like this buy. You know what? I think you could buy some calls against MST or buy some puts against MSTR here.
Well, that was a cash secured put that triggered.
Okay, so you need the cash secure. I think you're good. I think MSTR at 300. I think you may. This is what I mean. You know, you waited it out, and I think Monday morning you're gonna smile. I think.
Yep, I'm happy with the move. Okay, Steve, we are hitting the 4 o'clock hour here. Ticks as we're ending up negative 283. QQQs at 525.92. Not really much movement at the end of the day. Sort of a lackluster finish at following. MSTR at the lows of the day, 299.46. So we
this is all. This is all options. This is all options because since 2 o'clock, the market really hasn't done much, right? So you know that means. That means that it's all options that came off, and that's what this was. So I'm not scared about this at all. This is, yeah. What was it? What time was it at? Yeah.
10 of. Dixie's finishing up at 106.63. We are closed. Let's see what the finals were. 526.09. It looks like on the Qs. Bitcoin still sticking right around that 95 spot. We do see after hours Qs moving slightly to the upside as Steve projected there. MSTR.
I think we see the Qs pushing up now that the liquidity is spun out. 95 back above 95,000 on Bitcoin. That should push up your MSTR there.
Yeah, MSTR is back at 300, basically 299.96. So it has moved up 335. There you go. It just moved up a quarter of a percentage point there. So looking good as we get into the close here. Steve, you have a fantastic weekend, and we will see you guys early Monday morning at 9 o'clock. Ron, have a great day.